Have you ever felt like your life is not your own? Like something invisible is pulling your strings, controlling your decisions, your happiness, your peace? You're not alone. Albert Einstein, yes, the genius who unlocked the secrets of the universe, warned us. Not about black holes, not about time travel, but about ourselves. About the 7 invisible forces that, if we don't resist them, will own our mind, steal our purpose, and destroy everything that makes life worth living. And today, we're going to expose them. So if you're ready to take back control of your life, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-life truth bombs, and let's dive straight in. This isn't just about Einstein. It's about you. Because the truth is, these forces aren't just bad habits or toxic thoughts. They're chains quietly placed around your neck by society, trauma, ego, fear. And once you see them, you'll never live the same again. Let's begin. 1. Never let your past control your present. Einstein once said, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." But how can you move forward? How can you balance when you're dragging the heavy chains of your past behind you? So many people are stuck, not because they lack talent, not because life hasn't given them opportunities, but because they're still emotionally anchored to what happened yesterday. The pain, the betrayal, the mistakes, the failures, they relive them, replay them, and unknowingly give them permission to shape their present. And here's the harsh truth. As long as the past is driving your mind, your future can't even start its engine. The past is not your prison unless you keep choosing to sit in the cell. It's not a place to live, it's just a place to learn from. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it broke you. But no, it doesn't get to define who you are becoming, unless you allow it to. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing your peace over your pain. It means deciding that your story deserves a new chapter, not a constant reread of the same old page. And when you release the weight of what was, you rise. You finally breathe. You become free, not for them, but for you. Because the moment your past stops controlling your present, your real life finally begins. 2. Never let others' opinions control your truth. Albert Einstein didn't fit the mold, and thank God he didn't. He was expelled from school, mocked by teachers, and rejected by academic institutions. To most people, he was just a problem child, a misfit. But he didn't let their opinions become his identity. He trusted his inner voice, even when the world screamed the opposite. And that's what made him a legend. Now ask yourself, how many times have you silenced your truth, just to be accepted? How many times have you worn a mask, played small, or stayed quiet, because you feared being judged, misunderstood, or abandoned? Here's the brutal truth. If you live for their approval, you will die inside from their rejection. People's opinions are cheap, loud, and often spoken from fear, not wisdom. And the more you let them control you, the further you drift from who you truly are. You weren't born to be understood by everyone. You were born to be real, even if that makes others uncomfortable. The moment you start living your truth, fully, boldly, unapologetically, you stop being a prisoner and start becoming a force. Because freedom? It's not about being liked. It's about being you, without permission. 3. Never let fear control your potential. Albert Einstein once said, "A ship is always safe at the shore, but that's not what it was built for." And neither are you. You weren't created just to survive. You were built to soar. But fear, quiet, clever, and convincing, will do everything it can to keep you grounded. It will whisper in your mind, "You're not ready. What if they laugh? What if you fail?" But here's the truth you need to hear. That's not fear talking. That's your comfort zone, fighting to stay alive. Fear is the oldest liar in the book. It disguises itself as logic, caution, even protection. But what it's really doing? Caging your greatness. Every dream you've delayed, every risk you never took, every idea you buried. That was fear convincing you to play small. And the longer you listen to it, the more you shrink into a version of yourself you won't even recognize. But the real you, the unstoppable you, lives on the other side of fear. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to move while afraid. Take the shot. Speak the truth. Step into the unknown. Because if you let fear take the wheel, you won't just lose opportunities, you'll lose yourself. And nothing is more tragic than a life unlived because fear was allowed to lead it. 4. Never let ego control your growth. Einstein didn't just become brilliant. He stayed humble because he understood a brutal truth. The more you think you know, the less you actually grow. Ego is a silent prison disguised as confidence. It makes you justify, deflect, explain away, and defend, always protecting the fragile image of being right instead of seeking what's real. Growth, on the other hand, is ruthless in its honesty. It doesn't care about looking good. It asks, what did I miss? Where can I improve? What's the truth, even if it hurts? When you let ego drive your decisions, you become a walking statue, stuck, brittle, and convinced you're unbreakable while the world evolves around you. Ego wraps you in a cloak of false superiority and convinces you that feedback is a threat, criticism is an attack, and change is betrayal. That's why so many talented people stagnate, not because they lack ability, but because they've chosen to defend their pride instead of expand their capacity. You have to rip that mask off. Be willing to be wrong. Be willing to be a student, even when you've already climbed mountains. Let go of needing to be better than others and start being better than yesterday. Validation from others will always be a hollow echo. Transformation is earned in the silent, uncomfortable moments when you choose learning over proving. Ego wants applause. Growth wants evolution. Choose evolution. 5. Never let comfort control your future. Einstein didn't create theories that changed the world by staying comfortable. He lived in mental chaos, emotional isolation, and often physical struggle. But that discomfort, that pressure, it forged brilliance. Because comfort never creates greatness, it only creates repeat patterns. And if you're not careful, comfort will wrap itself around your life like a warm blanket and suffocate your purpose while you sleep. Here's the harsh reality. Comfort is a beautiful lie. It whispers, stay here, you're safe. But what it really means is, stay small. Stay predictable. Stay forgettable. It convinces you to delay your dreams, settle for good enough, and ignore that inner fire calling you toward more. And all the while, your future, your real, powerful, extraordinary future, is out there, waiting. But it's not waiting in the familiar. It's waiting in the stretch, the risk, the unknown. You have two choices in this life. Chase ease or chase evolution. One will give you comfort. The other will give you freedom. Because the truth is, nothing worth building, becoming, or remembering was ever born inside the walls of safety. Your next level requires your next leap. Don't let comfort talk you out of the life you were born to live. 6. Never let negativity control your energy. Einstein understood something most people never do. Everything is energy. He said, match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get it. That's not just science, it's spiritual truth. Because your energy isn't just a vibe, it's a magnet. And if you let negativity shape that energy through toxic people, toxic self-talk, or toxic environments, you will slowly attract the very things you're trying to escape. Negativity is a silent virus. It doesn't just drain you, it rewires you. One negative person in your circle, one pessimistic voice in your head, one toxic habit in your routine, that's all it takes to start sinking. And the worst part? It becomes normal. You adapt to it. You begin to expect it. And soon, your entire life is built on the frequency of fear, doubt, bitterness, and lack. You need to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Cut the conversations that dim your light. Stop entertaining thoughts that leave you hopeless. Leave spaces that drain your spirit. Your frequency is sacred. Speak words that lift. Think thoughts that empower. Surround yourself with people who breathe life into your purpose. Because in the end, your life will always rise or fall to the level of your energy. And the reality you live in? It's just a reflection of the energy you've chosen to keep. Choose light. Choose power. Choose alignment. 7. Never let doubt control your destiny. Even Einstein, one of the greatest minds the world has ever known, doubted himself. But here's the difference. He never let doubt win. He felt it, but he moved anyway. Because he understood something most people never grasp. Doubt doesn't mean you're not ready. It means you're human. But if you let it take control, it will slowly choke the life out of your dreams and keep you trapped in the illusion of maybe later. Let's be real. Your dreams weren't random. They were planted in you for a reason. They're assignments, not fantasies. But every time you question whether you're good enough, smart enough, strong enough, You hit pause on the life that's trying to unfold through you. And with each pause, your destiny drifts further away, not because it's impossible, but because you hesitated. Doubt is a liar dressed as logic. It disguises itself as protection, but it's really paralysis. And the only way to silence it isn't by waiting for confidence. It's by choosing discipline, choosing faith over fear, choosing movement over overthinking. Every step you take toward your dream, even in uncertainty, weakens doubt's grip. Because here's the brutal truth. Your destiny isn't waiting on luck. It's waiting on a decision. And until you make that decision, doubt will keep you living a life that's far smaller than the one you were born for. So move. Choose. Begin. Before doubt convinces you to settle for a life you don't even want. As we conclude, these 7 forces are silent killers of purpose, of peace, of greatness. Einstein knew it, and now you do too. So ask yourself, which of these 7 are secretly controlling you? And what are you going to do today to break free? If this video woke something up in you, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. I take my power back. Because once you stop being controlled, you start becoming unforgettable.